everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we're going to learn how to create Notion item for WooCommerce orders automatically. So I am an owner of an online fashion apparel store business and I manage my store with the help of WooCommerce. By the customers, new orders are placed very regularly on my WooCommerce account. So I have to create the systematic record of all the order details in one place. And for that, I use Notion in my business. Now over here, whenever a new order is placed, creating the record of the new order details manually is a very time consuming and a hectic task. So to solve that problem, I have built an automation between these two applications with the help of Pabbly Connect without writing a single line of code. Now whenever a new order is going to be created in my WooCommerce account by the customer, automatically the record of it is going to be created as a database item in my Notion database. So now if you want to learn how to build the connection between these two applications step by step, for that let me take you to my screen. In this video, we are going to learn how to create Notion item for WooCommerce orders automatically. So as an owner of a fashion e-commerce store, I use WooCommerce to handle all my online orders and I use Notion to maintain a clean and an organized view of my orders pipeline, including customer details, order details and other details. To streamline my workflow, I have automated the process. So now whenever a new order is going to be placed in my WooCommerce account, automatically a new database item is going to be created in my Notion account. This helps me stay updated on every incoming order without switching between platforms or entering data manually. And I'm going to create this amazing automation between these two applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. For that, on the new tab, I'm going to browse the website of Pabbly Connect, that is www.pabbly.com/connect. After browsing the website, Pabbly Connect's landing page is going to appear in front of you. And on the landing page, you have two options, that is sign in or sign up for free. If you're an existing user, you can directly sign into your Pabbly Connect account. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. I am an existing user, so I'm going to directly sign into my Pabbly Connect account. After signing in, you can see the all Pabbly apps in front of you, in which you can see all the applications that Pabbly provides, from which we are going to select this Pabbly Connect by clicking on this Access Now button right over here. Then Pabbly Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. And now to create a new workflow in our Pabbly Connect account, we have to click on this Create Workflow button on the top right corner. And firstly, we have to name our workflow, which is going to be Create Notion item for WooCommerce orders automatically. For the folder on the left side of my screen, these are the folders from which I'm going to select this Workflows folder. And then click on this Create button to create a new workflow in our Pabbly Connect account. A workflow has been created and you can see that there are two windows in front of you. One is the trigger window, other is the action window. So what is trigger and action? Trigger and action are the two most important steps of our automation process because our process depends on these two principles. Over here, trigger says when this happens and action says do this. That means what is action? Action is a response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. We are going to set up our trigger step first, in which for my trigger application, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it as WooCommerce right here. As soon as a new order is going to be created in my WooCommerce account, I want the trigger over here should capture the response of that. That is why for my trigger application, I've selected it as WooCommerce and the trigger event is going to be new order created. And then you can see that Pabbly Connect has provided us with the webhook URL. Using the webhook URL and by following the steps given here in the help desk, I'm going to build a connection between WooCommerce and Pabbly Connect. So firstly, I'm going to copy this URL from here and open my WooCommerce account. So now to connect this account to Pabbly Connect, under WooCommerce, go to the settings option right over here. After coming to the settings page of my WooCommerce account, from this panel, go to this advanced section right over here. After coming to advanced, for the page setup, go to this webhook section right over here. And now as I want to add a new webhook, click on this add webhook button. Firstly, over here it is asking for the webhook name. For the webhook name over here, I'm going to give it as order created as the webhook. Status is going to be active right here. Topic is going to be order created. So this is the topic right here. I'm going to select as order created as I want to capture the response of the order created. For the URL, I'm going to paste the webhook URL right here. If you want to add the secret, you can do that. Version, select the latest one and create the webhook from here. As you can see, it says webhook updated successfully. As now the new webhook has been added over here in my WooCommerce account. Over here, if I'm going to go back to my workflow and scroll down, you can see it says, you can see a response has been captured of the webhook ID. This means the webhook has now been successfully added in my WooCommerce account. In place of the webhook ID, I want to capture the response of the new order. For that, I'm going to recapture the response right over here. And it says waiting for webhook response. So now to check whether WooCommerce is connected to Pabbly Connect or not, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a new order in my WooCommerce store. I'm going to place a test order. And after that, I'm going to check whether automatically the trigger over here captures the response of the new order created or not, okay? So this is the dress for which I'm going to place an order. So I'm going to select this dress from here. This is the URL of the dress. I'm going to open this URL in a new tab right here. And now let us place the order for this dress. For that, I'm going to add this dress to the cart. And I'm going to proceed to checkout for here, okay? Now we are going to place the order right here. For the first name, I'm going to write over here as new. For the last name over here, I'm going to write it as test right here, okay? It is asking for the company, which is none, so I'm going to select as none. Country is India. For the address over here, I'm going to write it as 12-A right over here. This is the street, that is New Street. City is going to be Bhopal. State is Madhya Pradesh. For the pin code over here, I'm going to write in a dummy pin code right over here. For the phone number, I'm going to add in a dummy mobile number right over here. And then it is asking for the email address. For the email address, I'm going to write it as newtest45@pabblytunes.com. After filling in all the required details, I'm going to place the order from here. And the method is cash on delivery. You can see right here, okay? So as you can see, successfully the order has now been placed right here. As now the order is placed successfully right over here using WooCommerce, I'm going to go back to my workflow and scroll down. And I'm going to wait over here for a few seconds. And within few seconds, you can see the response has now been successfully captured. The amount is 2,200. You can see right over here, this was the amount, okay? If I'm going to further scroll down, the dress is orange summer dress. You can see this was the same summer dress you can see right here. That is orange summer dress, okay? If I'm going to further scroll down, name is new test. This was the name of the customer. The pin code is right here. State is Madhya Pradesh. If I'm going to scroll down, country is IN, that is India. Company is none. City is Bhopal. Street is 12A New Street. You can see right over here. The method is cash on delivery. This is the order key with all the details. So as now the response has been captured in my trigger, this means that WooCommerce is connected to Pabbly Connect and my trigger setup was done. As now my trigger setup is done, as I have the order details in my trigger, now what I want is I want to keep the record of the details in my Notion database. So this is the database that I've created in the name of order details. Now we're going to set up our action step, in which from action application, I'm going to select it as Notion. Action event is going to be create database item, and then I'm going to click on this connect button. A window is going to appear in front of you, on which click on add new connection, then click on this connect with Notion button right over here. Then this window is going to appear in front of you, which is asking for the permission. So firstly, I'm going to select the pages for which I want to give the permission. I have created a page over here in the name of order details. So over here, I'm going to select it as order details as the page. You can see this page is already selected, and then it is asking for the permission, for which I'm going to click on this allow button, as this is safe process and my data is perfectly safe with Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to click on this allow button right over here. And as I've done that, you can see Notion is successfully authorized with Pabbly Connect. After authorizing, firstly, it is asking for me to select the database. For the database, I'm going to select over here as order details. Okay, so for the database over here, I'm going to select it as order details. Then it is asking for all these fields right over here, and these are the headers that I've created: order ID, product name, customer email, and then it is asking for the address, the method, amount, and the status. Now over here for the data of these fields, I'm going to map the data, which is inserting data from the previous step. So I'm going to insert the data from the previous step of this workflow. How it works is that as soon as I'm going to click on this field, the previous step is going to appear in front of you. That is WooCommerce new order created. As I'm going to click on it, the response that is captured in our previous step is going to appear in front of you. Okay, and as it is asking for the order ID, so I have received the order key over here in the response, and this is the order ID. So for the data of this field, that is order ID, I'm going to select the data of the order key from my previous response. As now I've selected the data from my previous response, this data is now been mapped. And as I've mapped this data, the data has now become dynamic. That means now whenever a new response is going to be captured in our previous step, automatically the new data is going to be updated in place of this mapped data. In the similar manner, I'm going to map in all the data right over here. For the method over here, I'm going to map the data of the method. For the email address, I'm going to map the data of the email address right here. It is asking for the address. For the address, I'm going to map the data right over here. This is the street. I'm going to map the data. After that, I'm going to map the data of the city right over here, comma, space, city, comma, space, I'm going to map the data of the state, comma, space, country, and lastly space the pin code. Okay, so this is the entire address. For the name over here, I'm going to map the data of the name. So I'm going to search for the name and map the data. For the status, I'm going to map the data of the status right over here. This is the status. It is asking for the amount. So for the amount over here, I'm going to map the data. Okay. Now in front of it, as I'm dealing in INR, so I'm going to write over here as rupees as a symbol. Okay. It is asking for the name of the customer. So I'm going to map the data of the name of my customer right over here. This is the name, first name, space, the last name. After filling in all the required details, I'm going to click on this Save and Send Test Request button right here. I've received a response, which is a positive response. So if I'm going to open my Notion database right here, you can see automatically the record of the new order details has been created in my Notion database as an item. So as now the item is created, this means that we have successfully created this amazing automation between these two applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. So now to sum till now what we have done, the trigger is WooCommerce new order created. As soon as a new order is going to be created in my WooCommerce account, automatically the trigger is going to capture the response of that. As we have the details, automatically the record of it is going to be created in my Notion database as an item using this action step, that is Notion create database item. And in this manner, without need of any coding and programming skills, I have created an automation between these two applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. So this was it for this video. Thank you so much for watching.
Not just with these applications, you can create automation between multiple applications using Pabbly Connect. If you have any doubts, you can send us email on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can ask us queries on forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can check out this link. If you like this video, please do subscribe to our channel and hit the like button down there.